So I read somewhere that you still signed to Def Jam.
Nah, I'm signed to Gangland Records.
Oh, okay.
You know.
So do you plan to release another album?
Yeah. You know, self-financed, self-made, self-paid. You dig? But we're gonna put out another album, you know, within the next couple of months.
Okay.
But right now, you know, in the music game, unless you Taylor Swift or you know, one of those gigantic artists, Kanye West or one of those people, you don't really sell records. You know, so it's really about, you know, it's really about art. So it's a good place to be in music right now, because it's really about art. You know, you get a camera guy, you shoot an artistic video, you make great records, and you really promote your brand and promote your brand and promote your brand till you get to a point of mass demand. Then you might go sell an album.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know, really the profit is in touring. The profit is in merchandising and just brand awareness. You understand? There's a lot of guys that are famous but don't really sell records.
Yeah.
But they eat because their brand is famous, so they could sell something else. They can endorse something else. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing right now. Plus, you know, Shyne been, in spite of being a 12-year vet and you know, having 2 classic albums, I've been away. So like you said, there's a new, I don't even listen to Wiz Khalifa or any of those guys. So there's an entire new generation with an entire new audience that don't listen to me. Same way I don't listen to them, they don't listen to me. They probably, you know what I'm saying, maybe they know, yeah, I know Shyne, I remember Shyne, I remember the joints, yeah, but you know, so I have to reintroduce my brand to the market and to the culture.
And you're still fighting to go back to the US?
Yeah, you know, listen, Paris is fly, you know what I'm saying, you know, Europe is fly, you know what I'm saying?
And that's not home.
But you know, absolutely, I'm gonna make Europe my home, you know, but so it's a good thing in the reality of expansion and you know, making sure the Gangland brand and the Shyne brand is a global brand. So it's a good opportunity, but at the end of the day, freedom is the ability to go anywhere. And for 10 years, I didn't have that freedom. You know, I had a bunch of boundaries. Could only walk but this far. And then, you know, you reach a wall, you reach a gate, you know, a barbed wire gate with police with shotguns. So if you cross that line, it was gonna hit you in the head. Right now, I'm in court to try to get into London because London has a discretionary clause that if you're a violent felon and you serve a certain amount of time, they can decide to not let you in.
Wow.
You dig? So all these years later, I'm still paying for one mistake. I'm not a career criminal. I don't have, you know, a rap sheet, you know, that's ridiculous. I made one mistake. At least I got caught for one mistake. So I should be allowed to move on with my life and try to be a productive citizen. So now you won't let me go back to the country that I'm, you know, making all my profit. You won't let me go to the other country where I'm making profit, which is London, Canada, Australia, all these places.
Wow.
So that's really penalizing someone. Even in America, if I didn't make music and I wasn't an entertainer, there's not much that I could do. I couldn't drive a bus. I couldn't be a garbage man. So again, rather than say, oh, the system stinks, I also say on BG, yo, chill, because it ain't fair. So don't try to be me. Don't think you gonna grab a mic and you gonna, you know what I mean, put on a fitted hat and let your pants sag and you gonna be me, because there's consequences to being me.
Can we talk about your new faith or your...
It ain't a new faith. I've always been Jewish. I was born Jewish. My mother's Jewish, my pops is Jewish. You know, there's no such thing as, you know, I hear these dummies out here, they talking reckless, like, you know, because again, it's misinformation. Not, you know, being a Jew is not a race. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you're not European, that doesn't mean you can't be Jewish. You know, there's Jews in Iraq, in Yemen, in Ethiopia, in all different parts of Africa. You know what I'm saying? In Egypt, in Syria, in Iran. There's Jews everywhere, just as there are Jews in Europe, there's Jews in Poland, there's Jews in Russia. You know what I mean? And Jews in Latin America. So, you know, being a Jew is really not a racial thing. So anyone can be a Jew. And even if I wasn't born Jewish and and I wanted to convert to being a Jew. Again, that's the way of being a Jew. For 6,000 years, that's just the way it is. If you want to become a Jew, you can convert to become a Jew.
Okay.
So it ain't, but it still ain't new. It's what I do, it's what I've been doing. Before I went to prison, I just wasn't observant. You know what I'm saying? I just wasn't practicing. But once I went in, what I'm gonna do? I got a gang of time on my hands. I'm just gonna sit there and look at the walls. So I took the time to go through my history, go through my heritage. You understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And just brush up on that. And but I always been a spiritual fella, and always been guided by God. My comrade, one of my big brothers, he's a Brooklyn kingpin, one of the toughest dudes ever to walk the streets of Brooklyn. And when he called me, when we pick the phone up, he always say God first. When we get off the phone, it's God up. You know what I mean? And he ain't no rapper. His I don't even want to tell you his body shit. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't even up for discussion. And he's a spiritual dude, because you don't survive the gunfights, you don't survive the rivals. Like I said, I don't know what this world star and what this Twitter, generation is about, but the generation I'm from, all my enemies were about it. My enemies were serious dudes. You understand? We didn't have beef with punks. It's just not something that we do. If we could slap you up, then we don't have beef with you. You know what I'm saying? I tell my little cousin, I tell my sister to go slap you, and we won't even tell nobody about it because it'll be so embarrassing. So to survive war, that's when you know God. That's when you know God. You dig? To beat murder trials, to have the police looking for you for homicides and to get away with all that. That's when you know God. You know it ain't have nothing to do with you. You know no matter how smart you are, no matter how clever you are, only God can protect certain situations. So I knew that I wasn't that smart. I knew it didn't matter how much smart I had, that it's divine, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't be that tough and you can't be that smart on those streets. There's two ways: in the grave or in the cell. And the fact that I escaped both of them, and me and my comrades escaped both of them, we knew those are the type of guys I came up with. I came up with good guys that always put God first. They might not have been Jewish, but they were spiritual. So when I went to the penitentiary, it wasn't far away from where I was already at, because to make it out the streets and to get a record deal was a miracle. To get arrested in Club New York and still put my album out was a miracle. That's why I got a lot of respect for Hov, for Jigga, because when he says songs like on the Paris record where he say, we ain't even post, it feel weird, we ain't even supposed to be here. That couldn't express my reality better. Like, I'm not even supposed to be here.
Yeah.
I'm really not. I could have got caught for a body way before I became a rapper. So definitely, just being grateful for all the opportunities and all the miracles that I've seen in my life put me in a situation where I want to invest in the divine, and I want to continue to invest in that. And it don't make me a sucker. It don't make you a sucker if you believe in God and you want to practice your faith, whatever that is. I got mad comrades that's Muslim. You understand? I'm not tripping. God is God. There's only one God that created the entire universe. And however you decide to communicate with him, that's on you. But I offer advice to any human being that's going through struggles, that's going through difficulties, that's fortunate, that he needs God. She needs God. Everybody needs that, man. Really, the divine, the creator of the universe, the intelligent designer, whatever you want to call, the force that created the planet, that's your secret to success. If you invest in that relationship, guys have a girl. They gonna take their girl to the movies. They gonna take their girl to dinner. You dig? They gonna you know, they're gonna do all these types of things to invest in that relationship.
True.
They're gonna buy roses. So, you know, imagine God. You can, you know what I'm saying? Even with your comrade, you know, Sean Combs was my friend. He was somebody I thought was my brother. So when he was in danger, and when I was in danger, that's it. There's no questions asked. Even though he testified against me, or called someone to testify against me, you know, I was so loyal to honor and integrity that I dealt with the consequences. So if we show men this type of camaraderie and this type of loyalty and honor, so imagine the force that created the universe. You know, Israelite Judaism been around for 6,773 years. So it's a proven science. And if that's what makes you a better human being, that's what it is. And that's what religion is for me. Religion is just a guiding, you know, force in trying to be the best human being that you could be.
What type of nigga slang and bang in the streets? Bad boy. What type of nigga stay in the trunk for weeks? Bad boy. What type of... Yeah, Shyne I'm here at boostcampaign.com, and this is where you get the exclusive Shyne Gangland, the album. Download it now.